Hello and welcome back to another video. Oh man guys, today I don't know if you can tell from the setup behind me, but things went south. I gotta say, this is nothing like what I was planning to film. I wanted to do another brew on the origami with that Bernardina from Proud Mary. That was my plan, and that might still happen based on what the name of this video is, which I'm just filming it, so I have no clue what's gonna happen here. Things have gone south, but based on what the name of the video is, you could see what happened here. I don't know where this is gonna go, but let me explain a little bit. Let me grab the other camera and show you guys around to what's going on. So let's take a look. All right, so let's start by showing you guys the tools and the stuff that came out of the Breville Smart Grinder Pro. I have a whole video as to how to disassemble this thing, the tools needed, and how to do it, and how to do a deep cleaning on the Breville Smart Grinder Pro. So, by the way, I remember a few videos back I was talking about the little felt washer. Here it is. And this is the new one. The part number for this little washer, in case it happens, like if it happens to you like it happened to me and I broke it. So the part number is on there. And I order them straight from Breville. It's just it's cheaper. So when I disassemble it, I always line the things up in the order that they have to go back in, so you know it's easy to put back together. Basically, all you need is a socket. This is a 10mm socket with a little extension, so it reaches deep enough to remove this little nut, and then you can get into all these things and take everything out. Okay, so here's the smart grinder, all taken apart. You can see there inside, it's nice and clean. I already cleaned it out. There was, always it gets gunked up with coffee, So I cleaned it out really well, because last I told you guys about this, it was not working properly. I could not make it go fine enough, okay? It was only grinding like kind of coarse, and I wasn't able to dial in for espresso. So I had already done a cleaning. It did not fix the problem. The first time that I had that same problem, except that it was in the reverse, it was grinding too fine. The very first time it was grinding too fine, I couldn't make it coarser. But I cleaned it up, and whatever was gunking it up or whatever was happening, I don't know, it just went away, and I never thought about it again, and I never run into that problem again until recently. So I stopped using it. By then I had received already the niche, so I just started using the niche and my hand grinder and all that, and I haven't gone back to this. But today I got into this. And then, as luck will have it, of course, I chose a white t-shirt to start filming with. So I was planning on doing a pour over on the origami with the Bernardina. I just wanted to speed up the brew. The last time that we worked on it, the brew took like 4 minutes and 40 seconds, and we were grinding at 6 on the K+. We were grinding on 6. Today, my plan was to go to 7 and see how much that would speed up the brew time, because I'm hoping to get something around 3 minutes to maybe 3.5 minutes, and see if I can get some more brightness and clarity and acidity from this coffee. And anyway, we'll chit chat more about what's been going on with the origami and stuff like that once I try to put this thing back together. But I just wanted to show you guys. So I changed the inner burr setting. I had never messed with it, but I'm not sure if you can see it there. But if you could see there, the little number is on 5. It was previously on 6. It came from factory set at 6. I moved it to 5. Now, being that I wasn't able to grind fine enough, I don't think this was the problem. But anyway, I just changed it to 5. Maybe that'll help. So let me put this whole thing back together. And then what we're going to do, instead of starting with this, the video might still be called something about brewing with origami, or I don't know, maybe I'll split the video. I have a feeling this is probably gonna get long like it always does. But everything was set up to get started, and then I started messing with this, and I got dirty, and then there was coffee everywhere, and I've been dealing with all that. So let me put this thing back together, and then what I'm gonna try to do, I think I'm gonna start by just trying to see if this thing works. I banged it. One of the good things about having the smart grinder instead of like the Breville Barista Express is that I can just turn it upside down right over the sink, and it helps a whole bunch to just get everything out of there. All right, so let me start putting this thing back together, and I'll get back with you guys in a second. All right, so I put it back together. Let's hope that it works. Anyway, I'm gonna be grinding some of the Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Again, when you wanna experiment, you might as well go to something that's not gonna break the bank. Plus it makes great espresso, so let's see. Now, I'm gonna grind at 18. That's about as fine as I ever, well, I think 16 is about as fine as I ever had to grind on the Breville Smart Grinder Pro. And being that I adjusted the inner burr to even finer now, I imagine those settings should now go up. So maybe 16 now should be something like 20. I don't know, I had never changed that, but I imagine logically that's what should happen. So the machine might choke. Now, but here's the good news. If it chokes, I know that I can grind fine again. So I know that it's working. It's just a matter of dialing in. So we'll dial it in. Maybe we get something at 18, maybe we don't. This is, again, I don't know, man, this went south. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we can brew a tasty shot, and then we'll worry about that Proud Mary coffee and see if we can do a pour over. Anyway, let's try to grind for espresso and make a cappuccino. Let's do it. All right, so yeah, when I started cleaning the thing, I made a mess with the coffee, and I got my shirt dirty, and things just didn't go quite as planned. I thought it was gonna be smooth and easy, and things are never smooth and easy. Something always happens. Anyway, I'm gonna grind right into the little cup that came with the niche. We're gonna try to do the 18 grams, and we'll see. We always shoot for a 35 to 45 second shot. But again, I have a feeling that if the problem got fixed, the machine might choke. I might not get anything. So, but let's see. That'll be a good sign. That means something happened. If it comes out too fast, then for sure we have the same problem. It's still the same problem, is still there, and I don't know what else to do, because the only thing I know how to do with this thing is take it apart and clean it well. And again, that was a really deep cleaning I did today, and just more and more coffee kept coming out of like all over the place. So, and I had cleaned it not long ago, but this time I really banged it up. I turned it upside down and banged it up, and just coffee just kept coming out. I don't know how else to explain it. Let's go ahead and grind some coffee. Oh, that's right. You know what? Retention is gonna be ridiculous. We're gonna have to wait for sure today, before and after, because after that cleaning, we're gonna retain a couple grams of coffee. So let's go ahead. It's at 18.1. Let's see what we get out. Now retention is not a big issue with this, with the Smart Grinder, okay? It's not. But when you do a deep cleaning, pretty much on any grinder, you're gonna have retention for the first 2 or 3 times. And with what I did today, I think I'll have like a lot of retention. And maybe on something like the Smart Grinder, you're gonna have retention for, I'm guessing right now, I should weigh it before and after for the first maybe like 5 times I use it. And then after that, it becomes minimal, like most grinders. So let's go ahead and grind the 18 grams. I'm curious to see what we're gonna get out. I'm guessing 16, we'll see. All right, so it didn't even finish grinding the 18 grams yet. As a matter of fact, the first couple of seconds, I didn't see anything coming out. As you guys could see, the experience of grinding with this versus the niche, or even the hand grinder, it's not the same. This is not even a light roast, but when you're trying to grind a light roast, it really like struggles, and you see it kind of like shaking around. Poor thing is suffering. But with a medium roast, it's fine, and dark roast, even with the light roast, it'll do it, but you start running into problems. And then it's not as consistent. Like, with the hand grinder and with the niche, you're pretty much gonna stay really consistent. You dialed in the coffee, and then that same setting is gonna work over and over. Okay, I wanna say that by the way it's grinding, I think the problem went away. I really do think, it took a full 40 seconds to grind the 18 grams, and that's about how long it was taking when it was working. So I think we fixed it, but let's see the retention. Oh my God, we only got 15. I guess 16, but we got 15. I had 18.1 going in, and now it's at 14.8. So I'm gonna grind a little bit more until I get my 18 grams. Now again, that's not a problem once you have enough coffee in there that After that, of course, you're gonna have some exchange, like some new coffee changing out for the old coffee, kind of rotating thing. But I don't worry about that. I never was able to tell any difference on the flavor or anything. It was fine, perfectly fine. Let's try to grind a little bit more. I'm not even gonna weigh it, because what I'll do is I'll weigh it and then I'll pull coffee out until I have my 18 grams. Just gonna do a little bit more. Again, that's why you don't want to experiment with a single origin that's costing you some pretty pennies. Okay, now one thing that I noticed is that I believe when I started it was at 18. At least that's where I first left it at. And I didn't see at what point did it change over to 17, but I don't know. We started at 18, finished at 17. I don't know what that's all about, but let's weigh it and let's see what we got. Oh wow, and I just threw some beans in there. It's funny, I just threw some beans in there without weighing them or anything, and it was exactly what I needed. I ended up right where I started, between 18 and 18.1. All right, so let's try to pull a shot. I have a feeling the machine might choke, because I think it is working again properly. So, all right, so let's do some pot prep. You guys know the routine. But if you see anything here on this video and you have questions about anything, just go ahead, comment below. I'll make sure to get back with you. All right, oh man, I think that's gonna be too fine. It already like went down to, oh boy. All right. All right, I forgot to get my WDT tool out. Let's do some WDT. All right, look nice and fluffy. Yeah, wow, I can already remove this, and this is gonna be, I have a feeling this is gonna be too fine. Maybe not. Maybe not, that felt about right. Let's check with this one like I always do. Yeah, wow, maybe we're in business. All right, you know what? I need a good shot right about now. I need my afternoon boost. Okay, if this ends up working right from the get-go like this, man, I will be so surprised. Let's see, let's see what happens. All right, the machine is nice and hot. So we're ready to go here, ready to rock and roll. All right, we got the A flashing. Put the cup on there. All right, it's ready to go. Let's do pre-infusion. Now again, we're shooting from something between 35 seconds and 45 seconds at the most. Oh, this is too coarse. It's still too coarse. Oh, and the scale didn't time it. Man, nothing's going right today, I'm telling you guys. Things are going south. All right, I'll look on the video to see how long that took, and I'll put it here on the screen, but I could tell that was way too fast. That maybe was, what, like a 15-second shot? And now the scale decided to start timing. What is going on today? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I knew we were gonna be in for a fun one. All right, let's see what, I don't know. I'm gonna try to set the smart grinder to go even finer, but again, that's not a good sign, because that's kind of like what was happening before. I'm gonna taste this anyway, but probably it's not gonna be good. Yeah, oh, it's not. It's very sour, and that happens when it's under extracted, and that's pretty obvious. So let's try to grind one more time and see. If not, we'll just scrap this whole project, and we'll brew some of that Proud Mary. All right, let's try this again. Let's see how much retention we get this time. I imagine about half of what we had last time. So maybe like this time we'll get like maybe 1.5 grams, something like that. Okay, this time we're right at 18, nice and even. Okay, and I'm pretty sure I had this thing set at 18 and it went down to 17 by itself. I don't know. I'm gonna take it down to, what do you guys think? 14. That's a big drastic change on this machine. But let's try it. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna do it grind at 14. Man, she's struggling a little bit, guys. All right, so let's see how much we got out. 17.6. So you see, it's almost fixed already. Well, 17.5. It's almost fixed already. After you do this 3-4 times, you're good to go. Don't worry about the exchange. You know, yes, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have 0.1, 0.2 of exchange, 0.3. But at the end of the day, your shot's gonna be fine. Don't stress it. It's perfectly okay. All right, let's drop a couple more beans in there. That should put us over the top. Okay, we're just over 18.3. I'm gonna pull a little bit out with a spoon. Okay, we're at 18.1. We're gonna pull another shot and hope for the best. All right, a little bit more pot prep. Little WDT again, just to move things around, make sure it's nice and even everywhere. Although it's looking mighty fluffy, I gotta say. Okay, tap it down, make sure it goes far enough. If not, we use this and kind of push it down so when you remove the dosing funnel, there's no mess. The distributor that probably doesn't do anything, but okay, no, I think it did get finer. Let's see. Yeah, for sure it got a lot finer. I don't know if it'll be the right grinder adjustment or the right setting, or however you want to say it, but definitely it got finer. There's no doubt about it. That's nice. That's how it should be, guys. After you tamp, you know you did it right. If you can turn it upside down and it stays in there. Again, that's if you're using fresh coffee. All right, you guys saw what happened with the store-bought pre-ground coffee. That didn't. Don't try it with that. Okay, so I have a feeling we will be able to dial this thing in. I think the problem got fixed. Now, why am I having to grind so much finer now? I thought I would have to grind coarser because, again, I changed that inner burr setting. I don't know, but we'll see. As long as you can use it, it'll be fun to do some comparisons between the Breville Smart Grinder and the hand grinder, and between the niche, and to see how, if we could taste any difference, all that kind of stuff. All right, the scale always works. It's rare when it does that, but we'll see. As long as you let the A start flashing before you put the cup. Okay, it tears out. Then you get the A again. I know last time I had the little lines instead of the zeros, but usually that's okay. It'll still work. But let's see what happens. Nice long pre-infusion. Okay, all right, that's looking better. Again, it doesn't look like that liquid amber from Good Brothers, but this coffee's not bad at all, guys. Not bad at all. Especially if you want to experiment and use a new brewer, or you're just learning. It does give you a tasty cup. All right, so we still got to go finer still. I'm going to taste it. But we gotta go finer still. 54.8 in 26 seconds, and I like to be between like 35 and 45 seconds with these kind of roasts. With a light roast, this would be probably really nice. But then again, it would be for just a straight shot and not to make a cappuccino. All right, let me taste it. I'll let you guys know. All right, look at the crema. You see, the first one that we did, it didn't hardly have any crema. this shot looks nice. Not only does it look nice, but it tastes nice. For now, it's gonna work just fine. It tastes good. Yeah, for sure, if we went finer, we could get a little bit more sweetness out of it, less acidity. Right now, it's still a little bit sour, so it's still a little bit under extracted, but just barely. This will do just fine. All right, so I know I said that shot was perfectly fine, but I'm not a quitter, guys. I'm not a quitter. We're going again. We're going again. The shot was fine, but it was not what I really like. I want more sweetness out of it. We gotta go at least like another 10 seconds. So here we go. Okay, so we got 18 grams. We're gonna go down to 12. Maybe I'll change the inner burr. If it is working fine and it seems to be working fine again, I'm gonna change the inner burr again, and I'm gonna bring it down to like maybe 4. All right, so 18 grams, we're gonna grind at 12. Let's see how much we're gonna retain this time. All right, let's see what we got out. Oh, we're missing a whole gram. See, I don't know if you could tell in the video there, but it's that whining noise that it's making it's not normal. I never used to do that before. I don't know. Okay, so we are 18.4 or 18.5, somewhere in between there. All right, we're in between 18.1, 18.2. I'm gonna leave it like this. Let's try another shot. It just seems as the smart grinder ages, more and more, like, doesn't that happen with everyone? More and more things seem to go wrong. All right. All right, so nice distribution. The thing is that when you tamp with this, it's set at the right depth that you need there, so that when you tamp down and you lock it into the machine, it has the right gap between the coffee and the shower screen of the group head inside the machine. Okay, so but what happens is that I don't want to be adjusting this every single time. If the coffee is ground coarse enough, then this will give you the right depth, and if it touches metal against metal, then you know you're good, you know, and you feel the right resistance. It gave you good resistance. Right now, I know it gave me very little resistance, so I know I have to finish tamping with this. The reason why I like starting with this one is because the diameter here is closer to what the diameter of the portafilter is. It's closer than what this one is. So if I tamp only with this one, I'm gonna end up with a bunch of coffee around here. If I started with this one first, it'll push it down far enough to where I don't hardly pick up any coffee with this, if at all. But yeah, I could feel how it went down quite a bit. So you see, I end up with a little bit, but very little. If you don't use this first, this thing will be all full of coffee usually. So eventually I'm gonna go to a 58 millimeter machine, and I will get like very accurate tools if it doesn't come with one already. But it is what it is. This is what I started learning with, and it's still what I'm using. All right, let's lock it in and try one more time. Yeah, if you guys have been watching the videos, you already know about all these tools and the reason why I do it this way and stuff, but there's always someone new that runs into it, and I just want them to know, what is this guy doing with all this stuff? But there's a method to the madness. Okay, so this time we were grinding at 12. So wow, we started, I don't even remember anymore, but I think, didn't we start at 18 or 16? And we just keep going farther down. Before, I never even got to any number like this, and the machine was not making that little whining noise that you hear now. So that's all new. But well, as long as it works, then we'll just keep using it, and we'll be able to do some nice comparison videos. Here we go again. Man, I'm not a quitter. I just keep going. All right, I wonder if it's, you see, I got the little lines instead of the zeros, but usually that doesn't mean anything. It'll still work. Okay, the zero's now popped up. Again, usually it'll still work no matter what. Okay, getting a nice long pre-infusion. Let's see what happens. Well, obviously it slowed down. So right around 52, I try to stop it because then it keeps trickling a little bit there. So what I try to get is 54 grams in about 35 to 45 seconds. We're at 32. Unbelievable. Wow, I thought for sure we would hit it. But let's taste it. Let's see. I hope I don't have to grind another one. All right, so now we're going to 9. And I'm pretty sure we can pretty much scrap the idea of brewing this today. That's not gonna happen because this has already taken a while. Remember, I started by cleaning this thing out and doing this whole process, and now dialing in has taken forever. And then, we're gonna chit chat a little bit as I have my cappuccino and recap on everything that has happened today. But anyway, we'll brew that on the next time. We'll try to dial in for a faster extraction with the origami for this great Bernardina variety coffee from Proud Mary. So we'll do that on the next one. But today, we're gonna keep fighting with this. Okay, so we were at 12, we're gonna go to 9. Okay, it's at 18.6, but since we've been kind of having retention and exchange and all kinds of stuff because I cleaned it out so much, I'm just gonna leave it at 18.6 and see what we get out. Well, it's still making like that screechy noise. I don't know if you could tell from the camera, but listen to this. Wow. Yeah, some still got to be wrong with it, but anyway, let's see. All right, now we got extra out. Let me take a little bit off of it. All right, I sure hope it works this time because pretty soon we'll be out of coffee. Oh boy. Wow. Oh goodness. I don't know what to tell you guys. But this shot is probably gonna be too long unless it builds up here. It's not looking too bad. It started really slow, but it's building. It's gonna go long no matter what. I mean, we're at 30 seconds right now and we have about 24 grams. But let's see, maybe we'll be not too far off. Oh boy. Oh, well. Usually the machine times out after a minute. Nothing seems to be working right today. I don't know what to tell you guys. But we're gonna have to make a cappuccino with this one because I don't give up easy, but I think I'm calling it quits here. Oh, it's on. It's on. All right, just kidding, but we will continue with this. Let's taste it. Actually, this one is quite tasty. Obviously, it didn't turn out to be a 1-to-3 ratio, but it's close enough. All right, we're gonna steam some milk and make the best of it.
I can't believe what I found when I let a little piece of you into.
All right, so today we had a little bit too much foam, but we still ended up with a pretty decent result as far as latte art. Well, at least for me. You guys know that I'm not great at it. I hope that's focused there. That's what we're working with. Not too bad. Let's see. You see, we have a lot of foam today. but that's gonna be delicious. So let's sit down, chit chat a little bit, recap what's been going on here today. We didn't get to try the Bernardina. We had to pull like 100 shots with this thing, trying to dial in. And that Breville Smart Grinder didn't want to help us here. But let's go ahead and enjoy this cappuccino. All right, guys. If anybody's having coffee with me right now, cheers, enjoy it. Man, you put a little bit of milk and sugar in there, and then the coffee doesn't matter as much. Yeah, this is wonderful. Well, we got a nice layer of foam today. I got into this today thinking that, all right, I'll go ahead and off camera, you know, I'll clean it out and put it together, and then we'll test it out. And I just figured it was gonna work. And man, we struggled. But anyway, it's all clean. I know I don't have to take it apart to clean it again. It can't have anything to do with that. I'm gonna maybe change the inner burst setting to 4 and try again and see. But for now, I think we can use it for doing some comparisons. And I have to say now, you know, I already said it in previous videos, but like really, if you get something like this is the Espresso K+ model hand grinder. And yes, you have to do the work yourself, you know, but you do the work yourself, but it takes only about 25 seconds, maybe 35 seconds at the most if you're like really slow. But you know, you'll be able to dial in your coffee for espresso, for pour overs. The thing is bulletproof. You're not gonna have any of these issues or anything. This thing is bulletproof. I cannot imagine anything going wrong with that. And it's very consistent. So once you dial in, let's say you're at setting, I don't know, 4 for your espresso shot. And right there, it's giving you what you want, 35 seconds or whatever it may be for that coffee for your taste. The next time you grind that same coffee, if not a lot of time has passed, you should be right at the same number. And as a matter of fact, the other day when I ground on the niche and I said that it had changed a little bit, and you know, it does happen from time to time, depending on the weather, depending on a few factors on how long you've had that coffee, you might have to readjust it a little bit, but it'll be just a little bit, you know. The other day when I ground on the niche and I saw that the setting had changed, it turned out that I didn't have it right where it was supposed to be. So, and that's the reason why the shot changed a little bit. It had nothing to do with the niche, it was user error. But it still worked. I mean, it was barely off, thank goodness. So we still got a good shot. I think we were at 30 seconds when I was expecting more like 35 to 40. Wow, that's wonderful. As a matter of fact, I think I deserve it. I'm gonna put the rest of the milk in there. I don't usually like diluting it too much. That's why I don't put all the milk in. I like to keep it right around 4, maybe 5 ounces of milk, 2 ounces of coffee, and a nice thick layer of foam on top. That's a proper cappuccino, at least for me. Anyway, today's Saturday. Maybe tomorrow I can record a little bit more and do that video with the Bernardina coffee and do another pour over on the origami. I've been getting the hang of it. And as a matter of fact, this morning when I first got up and I did my coffee in the morning, I did a pour over on the origami, and I did the last bit of that geisha coffee that I had. And I don't know, like I keep telling you guys, that your taste buds, they kind of get spoiled. So I don't know how much it had to do with that, because I had been doing pour overs just with that Dunkin' Donuts coffee for a few days in a row. I think this whole week, today's Saturday, I think the whole week that's what I was using. And then I think what I did was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I did pour overs on the origami, still practicing. And I dialed it in really well with that Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I've been getting it spot on. So, but then I went to the triplet just to see what the difference in taste was, what the difference in, you know, what I could do with the triplet. And I did Thursday, Friday, I used the triplet for the same coffee. So then today, Saturday, I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and make the last of the geisha. And I did a pour over on the origami. I think it took about, I wanna say it took about 4 minutes of brew time. And man, it was so good. I don't know if it's because, again, like I'm telling you guys, that your taste buds get spoiled. So from having a few days in a row of the Dunkin' Donuts and then all of a sudden going to that geisha, if that's the reason why I was like, wow, this is amazing, or it's just because something about brewing it on the origami was the very first time I tried it on the origami, and I don't know if it's in part the fact that I went from one coffee to the other. But man, I was like, wow, this is amazing. It's so good. And it could have been that, or it could have been that the origami pulled out, because, you know, all the pour overs I had done so far on that coffee, the geisha, was with the triplet. And, you know, I went to the origami and it just came out perfect. It came out perfect. There was a lot more flavor, because I keep telling you guys that coffee is very, like, you know, the flavors are not very strong. You know, it's a very mild acidity and delicate flavors. But this morning, the acidity level was quite a bit more noticeable, and the flavor was a lot stronger. So I don't know if it was the fact that I did it with the origami, or just the fact that, you know, I went from the other coffee, the Dunkin' Donuts. That's just more like coffee flavor. Yes, it is an interesting coffee. It does have a little bit of acidity in there. And it's again, from store-bought, it's my favorite one. It's the one that I always go to. But there's a difference. Like I always say, specialty is a little more special. And it was great, man. That cup of coffee today in the morning, the geisha coffee with the origami, wow. We're gonna talk more about that, because again, when I make the next video, what I was planning to do today, we'll talk a little bit more about that, about my thoughts as to the origami and what I think about it so far. And then we're gonna do some comparisons. We'll do a comparison between the origami and the triplet, and we'll brew the same coffee, you know, back to back, and taste it. But yeah, this is wonderful. I'm gonna finish this off, but I'm gonna stop the video right here, because I know it's already probably gonna end up being like an hour long. By the time we pull like 10 shots and trying to dial this thing in and everything that happened with I don't know how many clips I'll have to edit and to put together. But I imagine we'll end up like a long video like always. So maybe tomorrow I get to record another little bit, and we'll do the brew on the origami of that Bernardina from Proud Mary. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please join our little club here, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and I'll see you guys next time.